We're deep into October, and I apologize for the tardiness with this editor's letter. It's been a busy month that's focused a lot on the strategic side of MAEKAN. To give you some background, in the original design of MAEKAN, we envisioned sections dedicated to news and links. As you currently know, MAEKAN is largely devoid of news. But recently, we've reintroduced the discussion. Some important things we've been asking ourselves include whether or not it fits with the brand, and could we do it better than what's currently out there? At the start, we couldn't make a sustainable commitment to the sheer manpower required to keep up with many publications doing news and often only news. We instead focused on deeper stories and editorials, things that weren't aggregated and that could help us stand out. We also were incredibly honest with ourselves, and at the time, felt like we didn't have a perspective that could offer real value in an already noisy media world. Almost a year has passed since launch, and the role that news plays for us and how we want to approach it differently is becoming clear. The everyday MAEKAN experience is something we want to build upon. And although it does currently exist primarily through the Slack community, beyond that, our growing platform isn't moving fast enough to play the role we envision in creative culture. We found ourselves having insights into new developments, or simply wanting to contribute to highlighting positive or relevant moments in creative culture. This isn't to say that we intend to scale back our audio stories. They are, after all, one of our biggest assets. It's simply acknowledging that they, like any quality work, take an incredible amount of effort and time. From the pre-production to crafting the story arc and the eventual sound design, you can't just snap your fingers and expect to have something you're proud of. And after taking stock of everything, it became clear what MAEKAN wanted to achieve and could achieve on the news front. This was validated by great feedback we received on the members-only MAEKAN Briefing newsletter. One thing that wasn't lost on us was the idea of editorializing the news. Typically, news is meant to be objective, and we leave it to the reader to decipher their own opinions. But several things came up that led us to push against this. Firstly, we concluded that believing journalism is always inherently objective is a flawed assumption. The facts and information are only part of the equation. Second, the very acts of highlighting or excluding something represent subjective editorial decisions in themselves. Last, and most importantly, for media companies, a point of view is as crucial as the content they create. This is especially true for a media startup that doesn't possess years of brand foundation. So how best to make our small but growing voice heard among the crowd? We got particular. After a few discussions and thought exercises, as a team, we identified key criteria for selecting newsworthy and actionable things. Some letter rearranging resulted in the snappy but slightly cheesy acronym SPARK or SPARK. S for simple. The overview and presentation should be simple. We'll admit, we looked to Axios for inspiration on how to summarize and simplify complex events in an engaging way. P for purpose. Does this piece have a purpose for our members? A for angle. Are we angling it in a way that goes beyond just a general overview? Can we narrow in on the most important piece of this news story? R for relevance. If we don't care about this, how can we expect other people to care about it? C for context. Can we take stock of all the information and offer context behind it? Our mission remains, in our audio stories or the news to come, to ensure our audience comes away with a greater understanding of the big movements and issues that surround us. It's about guiding and providing a launch pad for culture to push forward and grow. Context will forever be king. Without it, we endure the difficult task of figuring out the same problem with each passing generation. Signing off for the month, Eugene.